You get stale.
Popcorn.
You forget about things like stale.
Popcorn, stale popcorn.
Popcorn. Pop.
This is the
Stale popcorn.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Stale Popcorn Podcast. I'm your host, Steven, and with me as always is my co-host, Christopher. Chris, how are you now?
I'm doing well, Steve. How are you doing now?
Doing good. Well, Chris, we got so much to talk about. So much. I don't even care how you're doing.
I don't even care how you're doing.
All right, well, let's jump into it. We got timestamps below. We're going to be jumping around, taking a jaunt. We're going to be talking Severance, some movie news, bloody Novocaine, and Invincible. So do you mind if I start out with some movie news?
I don't mind, Steve. Let's hear it, buddy.
Chris, what do you call Teddy Roosevelt's favorite thing to do with cows?
I think I know it's lassoing of Ted here.
Yeah, Ted Lasso. It's official.
Oh.
Ted Lasso Season 4 is happening.
Oh.
Jason Sudeikis said, as we all continue to live in a world where so many factors have conditioned us to look before we leap, in Season 4, the folks of AFC Richmond learn to leap before they look, discovering that wherever they land, it's exactly where they're meant to be. He also confirmed that Ted is going to be up in Season 4, saying Ted's coaching a women's team. So that's it.
Oh, women's sock?
Mm-hmm.
Or football, as the kids call it?
Yes.
Across the pond?
Across the pond, si, senor. Yeah, so what are your thoughts?
I'll watch it. I enjoy it, Ted Lasso. I definitely felt like that last season was a drop-off compared to the first. Still good telly. Feel good.
Yeah. My only concern is, I really liked the cast of all those previous seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to see him cameo, a few times here and there, but also excited to see new characters. They got good writers, so we'll see how it plays out. A lot of people are complaining.
Do you know the cast for the new seas?
Not yet. It said Juno Temple Keeley is rumored to return, so we'll see if that happens. But
if I may, I don't want to step on your toes here.
I'll allow it, Chris.
Jason Sudeikis,
Mm-hmm.
Hannah Waddingham,
Mm-hmm.
Brett Goldstein,
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Swift, and Juno Temple are all returning.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I don't know when it said it to start filming or whatever. Probably it'll come out in 2027.
Yeah, probably so.
Sadie Sink. Stranger Things?
Is that the bald-headed chick that runs around with a number on her?
No.
Oh, my brother, we're talking about Stranger Things. This was a few years back, and he's like, oh, yeah, one of the guys got busted for having coke at an airport. And I was like, which one? He's like, the one that looks like he'd get busted for having coke at an airport. I said, say no more.
That's funny. The ginger redhead girl.
Mad Max.
Max, yes. She has been cast in Spider-Man 4 in an undisclosed role.
Oh, I wonder what redhead is in Spider-Man 4. They're going to do a Gwen Stace?
Gwen or Mary Jane, or some people think Jean Grey. Chris.
Sure.
Do you know what one of the most expensive movies ever made? Coming out soon. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Megalopolis 2. Tell me, please.
Yes. No. It's got Bradjamin Pitt.
Formula One.
The trailer came out. Did you see it? Did you partake?
Yeah, totally. It's nerve-wracking. I'm anxious. I'm waiting on my seat.
Listen, Chris, I know you're lying here.
Yeah, I'm sure
they know you're lying.
I'm excited for it. I'm not super excited, but I like the director. And
I know, Chris, you haven't seen it, but you could tell me exactly what happens in the trailer without seeing it.
It's going to say, I got the need for speed, and then it goes, and then it cuts.
Meow, 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 meow.
Well, I'm an F1 fan.
Got another trailer for you, Chris.
Oh, you love those trailers, buddy.
I do. I send them to you, and I know you don't look at them.
Yep.
But we're going to talk about them anyway.
Can't wait.
Lilo and Stitch.
Ooh, I seen this trailer.
You seen it?
I think I saw it on the Super Bowl.
No, it's a new one. It just came out this week.
Yeah, I seen it just this week.
Yeah.
There's this Agent 626 or 66.
Sure,
Order 66, one of the two,
Dead on.
And he says Mahana means family. That was a hoot and a half. And starts singing some Elvis. It's crazy. Looks like a good time, Steve.
It does, yeah. Now, so to be frank, It actually does look pretty good. It looks better than most of the live action movies. It just looks like a remake, I don't know why I'm more accepting of this one than others.
Then How to Teach a Dragon How to Fly.
Well, I've never actually seen any of How to Train Your Dragons.
Well, just watch Dragonheart. Same thing.
Same thing.
How
It's got Dennis
unmotherly
Quaid.
of you. Yes, yeah.
One more trailer, Chris.
Oh, man. You're just eating at my heart here, Steve. I can only take so much.
Freakier Friday.
You had me at freak.
Did you see it?
Lindsay Lohan. We're talking Jamie Lee Curtis is in that trailer. She definitely was. Michael, what's his name? Keegan, Michael
B.
Jordan, Michael Madsen. What's his name? Michael Keegan Murray? Or
Chad Michael Murray, you
Chad.
twit.
Sorry.
Gosh, don't besmirch his name.
He's got to be in there with his hot self.
He is, yeah. Grandpa Joe? Grandpa Joe's back from the grave.
We got that Asian fortune teller lady. That was cool.
I think the hook of this one, Chris.
Yes.
So last time, it was Lindsay and Jamie switching places. This time, you got the Lindsay's daughter switching places with her, and then Lindsay's other daughter switching places with JamieLee Curtis.
Oh, so we got a three-way here.
No, it's a 4.
Wait, who's the fourth?
The 4th.
Chad?
Yeah, wouldn't that just be a sight to see? No.
Yeah.
Director, take notes. It's not too late to change. Anyway.
Well, so we got Jamie,
we
got Lindsay. We got Lindsay's daughter.
And then there's like a
the
British
Asian lady. Oh, just some random Brit.
I don't know who it is. I didn't look too into it, and I saw it once passingly. So, listeners, if you know, we did our homework for this one, so we can report on this. So
yeah, they should
4.
just do some like random crip or something where it's just like they get switched and it's the night they have to do initiation. They got to murder some people, do a drive-by. Just make it real
family friendly.
Family friendly.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's there. My wife's actually pretty excited for it, so we'll be there.
Mine too.
And Chris, you got any news for me?
Nathan Fielder has been reportedly visiting Elizabeth Holmes in prison as part of a top secret documentary.
Ooh, fascinating. Chris, I had not heard this.
Do you know Elizabeth Holmes?
I do know Elizabeth Holmes. Theranos fame. She's one of the best con women around.
Yeah, I never heard of her till this, Steve. I had to look her up.
You know what you should do? Watch the show Dropout on Hulu.
Is it about her?
It's about her with Amanda Seyfried. Real good, real good. It's a bit embellishing on some of the details, but I've also watched a few documentaries and some podcasts on her. Real fascinating stuff, how she just real finagled everybody,
Yeah.
just about criminal behavior. Yeah,
Sure.
drops of blood. So that's fun, Nathan Fielder.
Yeah, drops of blood. And I got last one here for you.
Glen's Corner, where I'm sitting in the corner looking at nothing but a picture of Glenn.
Glenn Powell will star in Barry Jenkins' next movie, The Natural Order, for Universal. Based on Matt Aldridge's upcoming novel, the film is described as an elevated sci-fi thriller revolving around the pursuit of eternal life.
Wow, Chris, I'm excited.
It's based off an upcoming novel, which means it ain't even been writ yet. They're writing stuff just for Glenn.
Wow. Why didn't... Well...
Just let it be.
All right, sure. I'm looking to it.
Just
I'm just
be
excited.
happy, clap, say yay.
Shut. Glenn.
Good job, Glenn.
Wait, is it coming out this year or probably next year, right?
I think it's probably going to be a bit. I mean, the book ain't even done yet.
Okay.
Maybe it's an Argyle situation.
All right, look what they did to Game of Thrones. They said,
That's
straight
true.
through caution of the wind, they said, let's just do it.
That's a good
that
point.
turned out great for everyone, Chris.
Yeah, everyone loved it, especially the end. I got a question for you, Steve.
Shoot.
What you been watching?
Chris, me personally, I haven't seen much this week, but knowing you've probably have seen several things, so why don't you go ahead and shoot me what you've been watching.
Pull up a chair, Steve.
Done.
Pop a cold one.
That's the sound of a popped cold one.
Light a J. Preheat the oven.
Beep, 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 beep.
Turn on the crock pot. Switch the blender to the off position. Because I seen some flicks, Steve.
I bet you have.
And speaking of George R.R., I seen a little flick called In the Lost Lands. You heard of this?
Never heard of it.
Based off a George R. novel. Starring Dave Bautista. We're talking Mila Djokovic.
Oh, I saw some posters for this. I didn't know it was JR who was behind it.
Oh, yeah, it sure is.
Okay.
And basically the plot for this, I think it's in the future, but that's like a Western because they have like old-timey, like double-barrel Western shotgun type things. And they're fighting with knives, but there's witches and these weird, like, there's zombie things. And the plot is Mila Jovovich is like a witch and she's trying to kill a werewolf and she's trying to team up with old Dave here. And they're going on a little quest.
Okay. You had me at werewolf.
Yeah. It's from the director of all those Resident Evil films.
Oh, Paul Thomas Wes Anderson.
Yeah, Wes Anderson, I believe. Yep.
Sure.
Are you a fan of those? You seen them?
The Resident Evils?
Oh, yes.
No.
Yeah, me neither. My wife is a fan. Years back, she would put it on because she's like, I love this. And it was one of those, like, I was just having fun watching the movie, kind of poking fun at some things. And she just immediately took the remote and turned it off. And like, you're not, if you're not taking this serious, like, so I haven't seen any since.
That series was the one, really. Okay.
Yeah, but it's the director of that, which apparently, I didn't know this, but the director, his name is Paul Anderson.
He's married to her, right?
Yeah, apparently.
That's why she's in everything.
Yeah, apparently after the first Resident Evil, he was directing, and then they got together and been happily ever after. But this movie, it reminds me so much of Rebel Moon.
Oh no!
If I hadn't seen the director, I would have thought Zack Snyder made this because it's got whole movie is like in a certain color, you know, where
like
it's
a sepia tone, brown, muddy.
And I'm just like, a lot of times they'll do it, and then like it'll go to normal after 5 minutes. This is just like the whole time. Did a lot of those like slow mo, and it was bad. All right, let me just spoil it for you. It's a stinky movie. It stinks. It stunk. It was bad.
You booing at all, or?
Oh, I'm booing.
Oh,
I'm
really? Okay.
boo. I think this might be my worst movie of the year. It's very bad.
Was it like a Netflix or did it come out in theaters?
No, I saw it in theaters, which is weird because I saw a trailer before because I was like, oh, it's playing in my theater. Let's see. And I'm like, it doesn't look good, but I might as well go check it out. It looks like you could tell it's got a decent budget. It's got like a 60 mil budget. So it's like one of those, it's not like a Marvel looks great, but like you could tell there's some money in this. But I'd never heard of this movie, never seen a trailer, nothing. Where I'm like, it's got like known actors and like based off of George R. I think they just blew their wad on the production budget, didn't have any for the marketing. And it's bad. Booing for, how much do we boo Captain America? 2 minutes?
I think 2. Worse than Captain
America?
America?
I'm booing 3. This is worse.
Ooh, we have a new winner this year.
And then, seen another film called Black Bag. You heard of this?
Michael Fassbender, Cate Blanchett.
Yes. It's kind of like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith, you think? Because it's like, oh, is my wife, is she the traitor? Is she the leak? And she's like, can I trust my husband? Oh, man. And it's from, what's his name?
Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah. It's from Soderbergh. Steven Soderbergh.
Oh, Steven.
You know, he did the Oceans, Logan Lucky.
Yeah.
Real heist kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew this, and I saw the trailer. I'm like, this looks pretty good. I want to see it. Good cast. I go through it. It's only an hour 33. I'm up perfect. Feels like it's 2 hours. It's a drag. It's a bore. It's one of those that with no action, and like if you're a fan of dialogue, this is the film for you. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
And I looked it up on Rotten Tomatoes, and it got 97% critic. And I'm like, this is, audience gave it 78. So I was like, maybe I'm just in the minority. So I didn't tell the wife. I said, go check out the old Black Bag, you bag of bones here. And she goes and sees it. And then she comes back and she said, why didn't you warn me? Like, sorry, my bad. And I think she probably thinks it's the worst movie too. So
just because it was so boring, or
it's just very boring, and it's supposed to be a thriller, but literally nothing is thrilling. Maybe like 10 minutes where I'm like, hey, something's happening. But honestly, I'll never watch this again. I wouldn't recommend it, but maybe if you're into this kind of thing. But it didn't seem like there's any sort of tension. So I think I'm booing this for 3 minutes.
Ooh, wow.
It's worse than Captain America.
Oof.
Don't recommend, Steve.
All right.
And seen another film. We're talking Opus. You heard of this?
Is this with Ayo Edebri?
The
Bear?
girl from The Bear.
Yes, I was wanting to see that.
You were wanting to see it?
I was wanting to. I just never got around to it.
It's got her.
It's A24, right?
Oh, it's 24, baby. Of
Okay.
they. It's basically she's a writer.
Mm-hmm.
Like
John Malkovich.
Can I get there?
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you stop? All right. It's not funny. You're not amusing anyone. All right. Now let me speak. She's a writer for like a music paper or something. John Malkovich, he's this brilliant musician. He's like a white prince. And he ain't done a album in 30 years. And it comes out, hey, I'm going to do an album. It's the greatest album you ever heard. But first, I'm going to invite a select few. It's kind of like a Willy Wonka, get the chocolate bar raffle. Hey, we're going to send a couple people here. So Ayo, she gets one of them. And she's a writer. So she tags along. And they go to Green River, Utah. Where he's got this compound he's been in, apparently. And you find out it's kind of like a cult. What's going to happen here? Stuff happens, and we'll see what happens. I think it's about an hour 50 or so. And like an hour in, I'm like, this is actually very boring. Like, it's kind of an intriguing-ish premise. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, it's like, I think I'm booing this because I was just like, this is boring. But then there's like a good 20-minute stretch where it's intense. I'm nervous. I'm shaking. I had my phone it was like on my chest, and I thought someone was ringing. I thought it was vibrating. And then I realized it was just my heart beating. I was so nervous. Ooh. It was intense. So it had that like 20 minutes where I'm on the edge of my seat, and it's rare for me to get like that. So it had that going, and then the end is kind of boring again. But that 20 minutes is good. Good enough that I think I'm going to stand up, give it a 1 minute.
Nice.
I got one more for you, Steve. We're talking Riff-Raff. You heard of this?
Is this with Jennifer Coolidge?
Ooh.
Christopher Walken, maybe?
No.
There's an old person in there.
Bill Murray.
Oh, Bill Murray. Okay.
We got Ed Harris.
Oh, that's right.
Gabrielle Union.
Sure. Didn't know that.
And Pete Davidson. So it's got a great cast. Ed Harris, him and his wife, Gabrielle Union. And their boy, they're up there. It's New Year's Eve, and they got a little vacation cab. And they're staying at this house. And then in the middle of the night, his son shows up and with his pregnant girlfriend. And Jennifer Coolidge is the ex-wife. And they all show up. And they're like, hey, they're clearly on the run for something. And it ends up they're on the run from Bill Murray and Pete Davidson. What's going to happen? Who knows? But this is a dark comedy.
Okay.
It's got some pretty funny moments. I enjoyed it. Dark comedy where I'm like, oh, this is funny. And then something happens. You're like, oh, that's really messed up. And then like something will happen. I'm laughing. So it's one of those. A lot of people probably aren't going to be into it, but I actually enjoyed this one. I think I'm standing up giving this 2 minutes.
Ooh. Is it because of the star-studded cast or the riveting story?
I think it's more the cast. Story itself is, I mean, it's not like that amazing per se. There's like some twists and turns and such you find out, but it's not like groundbreaking. But I love me Bill Murray, man. I'm a sucker for Bill. I seen a show.
Can I guess what show it is?
Oh, you got a 50-50 shot here, buddy.
Oh, is it Severance?
No, I have seen that, but I was going to say another, but let's get into Severance then.
No,
right.
well, you tell your thing first, Chris.
No. Let's hear about the Severance.
All right.
Give you something to talk about here, buddy.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Severance, Season 2, Episode 8. We're here, buddy.
I think is it 8 or 9?
Sorry. It's 9. Goodness gracious.
Come on.
Severance, Season 2, Episode 9. I tell you what.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Yeah, this was a good one. This was a good episode. I liked it. Lots of things happened. And I know you're going to like that. We're on the severed floor. We were out of the severed floor. Innie, outie.
Oh, yes.
Good stuff. So I thought what we could do is just go through each of the characters, what they did, and then kind of give our thoughts about it. What do you think, Chris?
What a brilliant idea, Steve. Let's do that.
Dylan G. breaks my heart.
Yes.
Because we find out his wife told Audi Dylan that they had kissed. Yeah, Audi Dylan wasn't too happy. You know, he's like, you're cheating on me. I think we came to the conclusion that, yeah, it's probably cheating because she was like hiding it from him, you know.
But then she tells. And then he says, hey, don't follow me at work. And what does she do? She follows him at work. And he's like, I love you. I want to marry. Here, take this ring I made. And she said, Nah.
Nah. That was cute, though. He made his out of his little finger puppet trap. I was like, come on. You can't say no to that. But yeah, so after that, Dylan G resorts to quitting.
Did Audi quit? Or
Annie quit. So Annie went in there to Milchick and signed some papers, said, I don't want to be here anymore. And
I thought you couldn't just quit. Wasn't that the whole season 1 with Helly?
Well, hers was different because she was an Egan.
I get that, but I thought they said pretty much everyone always tries to quit in the beginning. It seemed like they try, but they can't because they're Audi.
I think his Audi will probably just be like, yeah, then I quit. We got Irving and Bert.
Yes.
I thought Bert was going to tell him to think about the rabbits, if you know what I mean.
I did too. I thought there's something that train was going to blow.
Yeah. I don't think this is the end of Irving. I hope it's not the end of him. It's kind of positioned that way. He'll come back. He'll come back the season finale, won't he, Chris?
Oh, of course he'll bloody come back.
Yeah, but we do learn from Bert that he was basically a hitman or a goon, just would drive people out to the fields. And then it kind of hinted that he would get severed, take him out, get severed again, to forget about that. That's what I interpret it as. Or maybe he got severed a couple times. Maybe they severed him a long time ago, because remember he said like it was 20 years ago that he first got severed. So he was probably a hitman for them. They got a new chip when he was an O&D.
That makes sense.
And then we got Helly R.
She misses Mark?
She misses Mark, yeah.
She's worried about him.
She's trying to find that elevator. She found the note from Dylan and she's trying to memorize it, and her creepy dad comes poking around. Goodness gracious, stuff of nightmares, I tell you.
She can cut an egg, though. You got to give her that.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I got to get me one of those. It was fun. Those little 6-slicer egg things. That's cool. One of my favorite plot lines was Milchick.
Devour
feculence.
Feculence.
What a line, though, am I right?
I know. I wrote that down.
He tells Drummond, just back up, man. Say my job. Like, what are you freaking out for me?
This is your problem here, buddy. He stood up for himself, and I'm standing there like, yeah, you get him, Mill.
Yeah, do it, Seth,
Yeah.
But I think it was interesting. We saw a softer side of Milchick when Mark's on the phone with them, and Mark just says, I need a day, man. And Milchick is like, I hear
I get that.
He's like, I need one of those too, man. So yeah, that was really good seeing Milchick, standing up for himself. I tell you what, everyone's going to gather. They're going to get Lumen, I tell you. Because Milchick's now, he's like, I don't know if I like this place.
Yeah.
Them giving me creepy paintings of a black man,
Yeah.
And then the most important storyline, Mark meets up with Cobell right at the beginning.
She says, hey, we're doing the old Cold Harbor. Gemma's alive, but if you finish this, she's dead.
Yep. They go to a Lumen cabin where Devin had her baby, and they get to speak to Annie Mark. Leaves another cliffhanger. But I had a question for you, Chris.
Yes.
At the beginning of the day, Mark and his sister and Cobell meet at some snowy area, right?
Sure.
And then they say, hey, we got to wait till dark to go to this cabin. Did they just sit around for like 9 hours?
I think so. Just hanging out, waiting for the sun to go down.
Just watching the waves?
Why not?
Just thought that was funny?
Sure. Hilarious. Ha, ha, ha.
Very good. I'm glad you got the joke, Chris. But yeah, this episode was good. I like it, and I like it set up the pieces for next episode. Just jazzed about it, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Can't wait for that cliffhanger that's going to come up.
Well, Chris, you got any more?
I got a different show if you want to move.
Shoot.
We're talking...
Yes, Invincible Season 3, buddy. Should we just spoil it? Like, act like who's ever listening has seen the show? Because it's hard not to spoil a whole series, right?
Yeah, let's just spoil it, buddy.
So if you haven't seen up or you haven't caught up, pause now, come back. It's just easier that way. For everybody, it's easier.
Yes.
Quick question for you, Chris. Where does this rank in the series?
I think it's probably my second favorite. I think season 1, I'm an origin guy. I love a good origin. I like watching Uncle Ben die over and over. I like watching Peter get his powers. I like Batman falling in the well and getting bit by bat. I like it all. I like that origin.
Sure.
I think I like this a little more than the last season.
Yeah. Well, last season was a chore because they split it in half, remember?
I think so. Maybe that's it.
Maybe it's because I'm recently by. I like this one the most.
Yeah, I could switch over, be recently by as well, because I remember as I'm watching this, every episode, I'm like, man, this is a good, it's a good show. It's entertaining as heck.
Yeah.
There's, makes you laugh one moment, makes you cry the next.
Makes your heart beat in tense moments. Yeah. I'll tell you what, Chris, season 1, I debated whether or not I like that one because I did something quite dastardly with season 1. I sat my wife down.
Ooh.
I told her,
that is
she's
bastardly.
I said dastardly.
I'd say the same.
I sat her down and I said, listen, you just got to watch this show. She's not a fan of any kind of superheroes or cartoons or nothing like
Let
that.
me guess. She said, I don't want to watch a cartoon.
Yeah, exactly. But I just said, listen, I've watched Pride and Prejudice many times. Just I've watched the Cinderella story. Just give me this 1 hour.
You have pride and you are prejudiced.
Exactly, yes. So I sat her down and she thought it was like some Marvel thing. And you know what happens at the end of episode 1?
Oh, yeah. Blood
bath. She was more blindsided than Sandra Bullock.
Ooh,
just
Michael O'Hare.
Yes, she was beside herself. She was just gasped. She stayed the whole season because the storyline is that good and that compelling. So that's a testament to the show that she's like, well, I got to figure out why Omni-Man did that.
Sure. Did she make it to season 3 here? Or?
No, because we watched season 2 halfway through and it cut. So she stopped and then we've kind of forgot to come back to it, but I finished it without her. Do you want to talk about some cons and then get in some pros of this season?
Sure.
I think the most interesting part of this whole series is the Viltrumite storyline.
In space?
Well, anything with like Omni-Man or the space or, the Viltrums coming in.
With Seth Rogen's guy and Battle Beast.
That's the best part of the show. And this season didn't have a whole lot of that.
Yeah.
There's, towards the end.
Yeah, I'd say my favorite episode, or at least for sure the top 2, is that one where the Omni-Man's about to get executed. And Battle Beast comes out and all that.
Yeah,
and the whole time I'm like waiting for them to come back to that, but then they never come back. For sure. They show Battle Beast at the very end, the Martians getting him, but I'm like, come on. Like, I thought for sure our Omni-Man would show up when Mark's getting destroyed by Conquest, but it never happened. You never see it again. I agree. That was one of my cons too. I want to see more of that.
Yeah. I have in my notes, Mark is even more annoying this season.
Oh, he's very annoying.
Very annoying. Get it together, man. It ticks me off because, like, at the beginning of the season, you see how strong he is. He's lifting 80 billion tons or whatever, but he loses fights to, like, the Mahler twins. And I hate to say it, as kind of annoying as Oliver was, I'm like, Oliver's right. Just kill him, you know? Like, just waste him. Why you keep bothering with this crap?
Yeah, he's very annoying. And, like, the whole thing with him fighting Cecil and, like, all this, where I'm just like, kind of more on Cecil's side here, buddy. Like, you're just being very annoying, and like he's very emotionally unstable this season, I feel like, compared to before.
I mean, I get Cecil's like a jerk and like he did, planted that sonar thing in his head, which smart move on your part. What do you expect him to do? He's just trying to prepare the world, Yeah. That's what he's got to do. So both of them are kind of in the wrong, but I tend to agree with Cecil more on a few things. Kind of like what you said earlier, there's a lot of side quests going on here that aren't that interesting. Debbie's whole thing with her real estate buddy Paul or whatever.
Didn't care for that. Rex and his love, that was pretty boring.
Also, even Mark, I like that they're together, but I was like, do you really need to like create a business and like make, I don't care about that. You made a golden apple 2 seasons ago. Just do that a few times. You know? I was a little disappointed with what they called Invincible War when they had all the different variants of Invincible come in and then destroy the world, and I was like, this is cool. This could be a couple episodes. Turns out it was half an episode.
Episode.
That whole Angstrom Levy, he's cool. I like his villainous, and Sterling K. Brown's great in there. But I was like, if you're going to dedicate that much time to this, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just used to like a whole series or like a season-long villain. But some of them are just like pop in here, leave, pop in here, leave.
I forgot about them. Here they come again.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's very like comic
book,
where you go back to like the Batman shows. It's like, oh, here's Joker. Then half a season goes by. Oh, he's back again. It's kind of like that where he shows up again. You got the Mahler twins, like every 5 episodes they pull up. The little alien things that I forgot about, they show up at the end of the season.
Oh, yeah, the little
Martian
brain aliens.
things.
Yeah.
They build up this whole storyline where you got Aaron Paul, and he's the Electro
Powerplex
guy. And his villain origin is like when Invincible and Omni-Man were fighting, basically blew up a bunch of buildings, killed thousands of people, and that killed his sister and his niece. His whole thing is like, I'm gonna kill this man. He needs to pay for what he's done. No one cares. And he gets the powers and he fights him. And then it shows like Invincible, and he's like, I never really thought about like I kind of put it in the back of my mind because I'm more worried about saving people. But like, I was kind of reckless here. I killed thousands of people fighting in the city. And then it's just like 5 minutes later, Conquest shows up, and what does he do? He drives them straight through like 8 skyscrapers, kills thousands of people. And I'm like, didn't we have like 2 episodes on this whole thing? And he just kind of throws caution to the wind, where I'm like, well, what was that all for here?
More like throws Conquest to the wind.
Ooh, right? That was good, Steve. I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you. Why would Cecil keep Conquest alive?
Maybe he's gonna take his blood, have that one scientist dude run some studies, try to make his little robot stronger.
He could, yeah. Or it's just a dumb move.
I mean, it probably is going to be a dumb move. I think they're trying to convey that he's going to try and get information out of him, I think is what they say. So when are the Voltrumites coming?
He's going to bust out of there.
Well, of course he is. I mean, it's a show.
It seemed very stupid to me.
Yeah, it's very dumb.
A lot of people say how bad the animation is. For me, I don't know.
I don't mind it.
I mean, I get it. It's not the greatest, but it's not distracting to me. Honestly, the story is that good where I'm like, I'm more invested in what's happening as opposed to how it's happening, maybe. So it's not really like a full con. It's just like, not the greatest, could be improved, but don't care that much. We got a lot of pros, I assume, Chris.
I got pros.
Shoot.
Every season, you got a great cast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like fun because I'm like, oh, new character. It's going to be someone I recognize. I'm like, oh, that's Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Oh, that's Jesse Pinkman, I hear.
Yes.
Who else was in this season? Simon Liu. I recognized him.
Oh, he was in there?
He was...
he was multiple, right?
Yeah, duplicates his brother.
Nice.
I really like Battle Beast.
He's great.
You know Battle?
I love Battle Beast.
I love the character because he's in it for like one episode, I think, in the first or second season, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that, I don't think he kills anyone, but he wrecks the whole people. Like,
he just tears through everyone like tissue.
Yeah, he tears through them all. I think he's like, basically, could have killed Mark. And I think that episode Omni-Man even sees, and he's like, nope. And like, dude just lets him. and his whole thing is like, I want a good fight here. I just want to find the best. So he's just like, these people aren't worth it. So then he shows up this season, and he's in the like prison thing. And what's Seth Rogen's alien guy name?
Alan, I think. Alan the alien.
He breaks him out to help out, and he's like, oh, we got a worthy competitor here. And he fights the Viltrumite, kills the guy. And I'm like, this guy is awesome, man.
He's great.
I can't wait to see more of him. I just love the overall character. I think it's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
It does a good job keeping you interested because they'll do like a lot of episodes where they'll start off with some random character. And normally, like in a show, I roll my eyes. I'm like, don't introduce someone new. I don't care. They're going to die anyways. But this one, it does a good job of just like hooking you, bro. Like Aaron Paul's guy shows up, and I'm like, I get it, man. Like, this is interesting. Or there's the one where I don't even think it had any words. It was just like the two
the
villains,
bank robbers.
The bank robbers. And it's like going through all that. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I got a lot of that. And I'm like, this is good television. I like this.
Yeah, it did have a lot of like one-off episodes to keep you interested. And I really like that Powerplex one with Aaron Paul. However, small note, he's a great actor. I don't know if he's right for voice acting, if I can be frank.
Well, you're just imagining Pinkman the whole time? Because I was.
99% of the time, it was honestly like,
you can't keep getting away with it.
Yeah.
Like, that was, like, I'm not joking. Like, his screaming level the whole time. But it was a great story. Like, you find out, from his perspective, not everything's black and white when it comes to saving heroes, and that he was actually pretty justified in hating Mark for what he did. And it's, like, nice to see that the little guy has a chance, because he took on an Invincible. He was one of the only ones to kill an Invincible in the Invincible War. Great character. I can't wait to see where he goes. And then, like, another side story you just mentioned, the two villains, they rob a bank. No words need to be spoken. It's all visual. Great storytelling. Paints the picture so fully that things are not as stark contrast as it seems, because these guys, they didn't ask for powers. They're just a couple, down on their luck who are in love and they just need to get by. And they just got to, resort to bad things with the hand that they're dealt with. And then you got stupid Mark coming in.
Yeah, no, ruining everything.
Ruining everything. Makes me hate him even more. Gosh
dang
I
hate the guy. This show does a really good job of, you understand the villain's motives. Mm-hmm. Whereas like a lot of shows, you're like, I don't care about this person. Like, I don't really see their point. But this, it's just like, I just find myself rooting for the villain a lot. Like, yeah, there's a lot of different perspectives where it's not like a clear, like, whoa, we're rooting for the superhero to do this. I'm like, oh, actually, I kind of want Aaron Paul to do some damage here.
Most of the time, I'm rooting for Mark to get hurt. So I really like Cecil's backstory episode.
Oh, yeah.
That was good. We kind of learned why he is the way he is and how he got that scar on his face. And he just like got his whole body melted off or burned off. And
he's like, you learn that this to remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He doesn't take half measures because of that. So it's good to see. I like little one-off side quests like that when it has a purpose.
Same.
But yeah, the Debbie one was the only one that I was like, all right, could kind of fast forward through this.
Yeah. I like how the intro, they don't have the intro.
That's a fun way to do it.
I think it's a fun thing to do. And
because you forget about it too.
Yeah.
And then you're like, there it is.
That's good.
The last episode, fantastic. Great fight. Mark and Conquest. Goodness. That's a lot of blood.
Oh.
A very bloody fight.
It was a bloody fight. And it killed a lot of people. This one, they killed like a lot of kids. Did they do that in the other ones? Because I remember people dying, obviously, but this one, it's just like, we're
a lot more
toddler gets burned to death. He goes through here. This kid's arm just got ripped off. I'm like, this seems like a lot here.
It's a good thing this is animation, and it's not great animation. Otherwise, I wouldn't watch it. Otherwise, I'd be like, this is too much. I know. So it's good that it's not like as visceral as it could be. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't know if many people
I don't know
if
I could
it's
watch it.
It's very, very gory.
Yeah. I like how a lot of people die.
Yeah, I bet you would. You're weird.
It's got that Harry Potter, Game of Thrones where no one's safe.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Let's see. Rex dies. I guess he's the main one. Oh, yeah,
Rex dies.
You think Eve dies, but then she turns into the Phoenix here.
I thought I'd be more sad with Rex dying, but I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, it's kind of sad, but meh.
He got his arc, right? He turned into a good guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, very bloody. And I wonder how long like a typical grandma would be able to watch this show for.
Yeah, probably not long.
It'd be fun. They should do that, like have your grandma react. When they would have grandmas react to the WAP song.
Yeah, just have them watch.
Just watch Invincible reaction. A funny review from, his name is Magic Lobster Attorney on Reddit. If I had a nickel for every time Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Stephen Wen fought on a TV show based on a comic by Robert Kirkman, and the fight ended with one of their characters having their skulls caved in by the Ever, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. So yeah, we saw Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
I guess
was fun.
Glenn finally got his revenge here.
Yeah. It's good stuff. I really like the season. Too bad we're going to have to wait like 3 years for the next one. Yeah. Well, Chris.
Yes?
Do you want to talk about a movie we saw today?
Yeah, we should get into the movie here. It's going to be a long app here.
It is. Apologies.
Novocaine.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a movie better seen without knowing anything, personally.
Yes.
When I give my rating here, I'm not going to say anything about the plot.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a comedy, action. It's a little gruesome. So if you got a thin stomach, you probably won't like it. But I thought it was funny. It doesn't take itself too serious. And I had a heck of a time at the theater, Steve. I think this might be my favorite movie of the year.
Ooh.
Give it 6 minutes.
Wow, that's such a high rating. Okay.
Let's hear what Steve says. Don't disagree with me, buddy.
Yeah, no spoilers. I do agree with Chris. Go into it as blind as you can. Don't even see a trailer for it. But if you do like action comedies and your stomach can withstand some gore, and by some I mean quite a bit.
Yeah, I'd say it's like Fallout level, maybe.
Yeah,
Fallout
that's a good comparison.
Kind of gross, but it's not like Saw or anything.
Yeah, no, I liked it a lot. I don't think I'd stand for that much. Maybe like about 3 minutes.
Ooh,
I do think it's probably one of the favorites of the year.
So what do you think's better, Companion?
I always think about rewatchability. I think I'd rewatch probably this one again before Companion. So I'd probably say this is probably the best one so far this year.
Okay.
Also, I wasn't expecting anything. So that's another
You went
factor.
in blind as well.
I went in blind and I was just like, oh, this is okay.
Did you take the wife with you? You see it by yourself?
I just saw it by myself, yeah. I guess we can go into spoilers if you'd like.
Yes.
So Nathan Kane can't feel no pain. He's got that rare condition where he just don't feel nothing. So you see him as day to day. He's got tennis balls on the door handles and corners of his table. He's only drinks liquid because he's afraid to bite his tongue off. And he's working at a bank, and he is infatuated with a young woman. And finally, they go out to eat lunch, and then they get to know each other a little bit more, have relations amongst each other. The next day, you find out a bank robbery has happened. They do some violence, shoot up a guy, steal some money, and they grab her as a hostage. And then Nathan has to track her down, get her back, using his superpowers of not feeling pain. So that just sets up a whole world of comedic and violent set pieces, which are quite enjoyable, Christopher, I'd say.
Did you see any of the marketing for this movie?
I saw a trailer a long time ago. I think I texted you like back in December or something, and I was like, hey, that looks fun.
Good thing I ignored that. Jack Quaid and the gal, they were at I think it was a Clippers or a Lakers game, but basically it showed up at first Jack Quaid had like a neck brace, and they show him on the Jumbotron, and then like a couple minutes go by and he's got like a hand splint, and it just like throughout the game he just progressively get more and more injured throughout it. I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I actually saw this film a couple weeks ago.
Ooh.
I think it was 2 weeks ago at the Mystery Monday.
Nice.
We came in, none of us knew what was going to happen. I don't think anyone really knew what the movie was. It starts off and you find out, oh, he doesn't feel pain, and it's like, seems like a love story. And I'm like, this is interesting, but seems like it's going to be boring. Like, I don't just want like a love story about some guy that can't feel anything. And then just like out of nowhere, the bank robbers come. And I'm like, oh, this is a fun twist. And then the whole thing with him chasing him down, like I just didn't expect to see any of that. Like I was like, oh, this is fun. I didn't see this. Got a lot of funny. See him grabbing the gun out of the frying pan, him shooting the guy. Hey, buddy, you okay? The theater was hooting and hollering. Oh, the part where he punches the glass and makes his own little glass knuckles and punches the guy. And he's in the house and there's all the booby traps. He gets hit in the back with the mace thing. And so I liked it. And then afterwards I was like, let me see a trailer for this because I'm curious. And then I watched the trailer and it literally like shows all of these type of things where I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't see the trailer. Cons. It's a little gruesome.
It is, yeah.
That's kind of the point of the movie, but I'm like, you didn't really need to get to like the broken bone, stab in the neck, like some of those.
Goodness, yeah.
I'm like, all right, buddy.
Yeah, it is gorier than Companion.
Oh, yeah.
And for some reason, obviously I was squeamish, but I tolerated this more because it was like a comedy, had comedic tones, you know?
Yeah.
So if it was not funny, I wouldn't be here for it.
Yeah.
He breaks his arm, but he stabs a guy with his femur. Or not femur. Arm? What's that muscle?
Bone, whatever that is. Bone. Yeah. It's fast paced. Maybe the beginning you could cut that up faster. But I think for me it actually worked out better because my expectations went down because I'm like, this is all right. This is kind of drag. Like, well, this isn't probably going to be that exciting. Then it just picks up all of a sudden. So maybe that was the point of it. But
it takes place during Christmas. Super random. It doesn't add or take away anything.
That's true.
So it just seems weird that they would do that.
Santa, so they can bank rob with the Santa stuff, but they didn't even release the movie during Christmas.
Yeah. I also have wildly incompetent cops.
Oh, yes.
They go to the crime scene and then they trace his call with his phone. So they know where he's at like 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes in the movie. And then they don't do anything for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
They don't choose to track him or anything. One of the guys, he's in the episode of Community where he's like, it's going to be a maze.
Oh, yeah.
You know that guy?
Yeah.
He's in there. But yeah, just like really dumb cops. I get the story has to happen like that. But I was like, surely these guys would do something more. Jack Quaid ruined that man's life. And by that man, I mean the store owner. Do you remember?
Oh, the guy he has stitch him up.
Yeah, the store owner goes to him
and he gives him all the money.
A loan. Yeah, Jack Quaid had to deny him his loan for something because his wife like passed away or something.
Yeah.
And then Jack Quaid gets the runaway car with the money of one of the bankers and then goes to that store guy, has him patch him up, gives him a couple stacks of cash, and he's like, you're going to want to launder that.
Yeah.
Which is funny, but the more you think about it, you're like, you've ruin this man here. You
If he launders, he's fine.
Well, sure. I mean, he's going to have to look up how to launder money on his Bing
Just
search.
Google
you know?
that and
Yeah,
hope
just-
no one...
Yeah, or watch Ozark season 1.
Hope the FBI doesn't look in incognito tabs.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. I guess going into pros, this was like a fun fast food movie, right? It's not deep or anything.
Yeah.
It's just it felt like an action 80s movie with, it doesn't take itself too seriously and it's just fun time, a lot of dumb jokes and just fun, I guess. I don't know.
It's been a while since I laughed that much in like a movie that came out.
Well, what were some of your good chuckles you had there?
I think when he shoots the guy, hey, you all right there, buddy? The booby trap stuff was funny. When he does the torture scene, oh no, you sick.
Yeah, that one hurt the most.
Oh
yeah.
man, just like all of those are in the trailer, so I would have been mad. And I think it helped because it was a packed theater and everyone was laughing. It was a good time.
Yeah.
Which I feel like if I watched that just by myself, it's still a fun movie, but obviously better a crowd watch, I'd say.
Yeah.
So I'd
definitely.
say if you could go with people to the movies, see it in the theaters. But if not, I'd say wait to watch it with a group because it's a fun group film.
I think Jack Quaid, this movie was written for him. Because he's great in it. He fits that puzzle piece perfectly. He's having a heck of a year, I tell you.
Is he the only pro-tism, would you say? The most pro-tism?
I think so. He's got Meg Ryan, Dennis Quaid, and he's firing on all cylinders. Household name he is
my
now.
2 favorite movies star him this year.
Yeah.
Companion in this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anyone that hates Jack Quaid.
Yeah. He's a Nepo baby for those who don't know.
Yeah.
Just letting some of them.
Yeah, he's the necro.
Necro baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did really well in this. He kind of plays like Huey if he took a different path in life, but it works because you need this kind of nerdy character who is unsuspecting but will, has that motivation to do whatever it takes, and it's there. So I think it's really good, and he seems like just a nice guy in real life too. Looks like you could just lay back and kick it with him.
I mean, he's Dennis's boy.
Oh, yeah.
Dennis seems like such a nice guy.
I could talk to him about Reagan for minutes.
Yep, same.
Yeah. I think that's all I got.
Yeah,
it's
same
very
here.
straightforward, But,
good flick. So you're saying this is your favorite of the year, but you're giving it 3 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
Just because, it's fun, and I can appreciate where the fun things are, but I'm like, yeah, it's just fun. I might not go back to it. I don't know.
I think this might be my favorite, but I might be recently by.
Well, wait till next week. I think next week's episode, you'll have that one as your favorite of the year.
Ooh, which one's that?
Snow White.
Oh, God. Are we doing this?
Talking that movie next week. So if you
come on.
or if you have a suggestion.
What are you doing here? All right, I guess it's only fair. I'm sure that's what the crowd wants.
But if you're listening, if you're listening this far, thanks for listening. Bloody, give us a like, give us a follow on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all those things. We got stuff and things. Chris, anything else?
Nope. Can't wait to talk next week. Super
leave us a 5-star review.
5-star review, Snow White. Let's go. Thanks for listening. Have a good week.
Bye.
Things like stale.
Popcorn?
Popcorn, stale popcorn.
Popcorn. Pop, pop, pop.
This is the stale popcorn.
Popcorn!